Boeing's CEO has spoken out following what has transpired recently involving its 737-9 from the incident to the subsequent grounding. In the statement, there were several key points that were highlighted, with a personalized touch to conclude it. Such a statement, you could argue, has received some pretty mixed responses from the public. Addressing the incident aboard an Alaska Airlines Boeing 737-9, the current Boeing CEO says it can never happen again. Additionally, and more noticeably, he acknowledges that the plane maker has made a significant mistake. Calhoun says their priority is transparency and ensuring the safety of those who will board the 737-9 in the future. As a result, the company will work with the NTSB, who lead the investigation following the incident, to better determine just what happened. Boeing highlighted its long-standing relationship with the NTSB and knows of their investigative qualities that will shine through. As a result, Boeing says it trusts the judgment of the NTSB in evaluating just what happened. The plane maker also went on to say that it's the role of the Federal Aviation Administrations, or FAA, to deal with the customers worldwide who are currently being impacted by the grounding too. Boeing says they want to ensure that upon re-entry, they can confirm this issue won't arise again. In an ideal world, though, many would say the incident wouldn't have happened at all. But equally, you can't control everything. Calhoun concluded the statement by mentioning that he has kids and grandkids and sees the imagery that followed the incident and makes him think about what could have been. As a result, he said that every detail matters when considering the long-term future and how the investigation moves ahead. A bit of a personal touch, which, if you're going back to your English days of high school, certainly is meant to evoke some type of emotive feeling. Alaska Airlines actually reported to its technicians that it had found some loose hardware on its 737-9s only yesterday. This followed initial inspections. The amount of aircraft impacted has not been publicly disclosed, although the NTSB says that the FAA should have this amount. For Alaska Airlines, like many other companies, they are awaiting the final documentation from the FAA and Boeing to really begin formal inspections. At the moment, they've been glossing over. Alaska Airlines wasn't the only company to have recorded something similar. United Airlines, only hours earlier, would go on to confirm reporting by the Air Current that it had come across loose bolts itself and general installation issues on the Boeing 737-9s in what was really forming to be a much larger problem than maybe initially expected. For example, United said that some of the installation issues are related directly to bolts that needed additional tightening. Since the incident, the tightening of bolts has been a critical focal point and directly relates back to quality assurance concerns, so United coming out and saying that it related to this probably wasn't the best thing to be hearing. Based on the findings, United says it will send these to the tech ops team, who will remedy this as best as possible to return the aircraft safely into service. Despite comments from the Boeing CEO, the American plane maker has, as you would expect, come under a significant amount of fire as the 737 MAX re-enters headlines for the wrong reasons. Boeing has battled with quality assurance difficulties amongst other issues for some time now, with the new management at the company saying that they really wanted to weed this out. And while many believe they were slowly working towards positives, the reality is a lot of these loose bolts are being found on newly delivered planes. That doesn't make it any better than if the planes were delivered 15 years ago, but you get where I'm headed with this. Shares in Boeing are continuing to fall, while significant customers of the 737-9, being United and Alaska, continue to cancel flights, with at times for the latter company, 18% of their daily schedule being impacted due to the groundings. No timeline has been provided on when the 737-9 will return to service, and this therefore contradicts what customers believed would initially occur. When the planes were grounded, these customers thought the type would re-enter service within days. We know that will not be happening now. So looking ahead, the future does seem quite a fair distance away, and 2024 was initially earmarked as a crucial year for Boeing in terms of not emerging in the headlines, but within basically a week that has completely capitulated. While the nature of the incident certainly differs from that in 2019, the plane maker will once more have an uphill battle of restoring its stance within the general public's view, alongside the trust of customers and close onlookers. While the latter took time last time, you'd argue it was easier to achieve this than the general public. Some would go on to argue that the general public never really moved on from what happened in 2018 and 2019. If you have any thoughts on what continues to be a developing story, let me know down below in the comments. Thanks a lot for your support across recent days. As I've said time and time again, I wish there would be better stuff to be bringing you, but this is certainly the top story of our industry at the moment. Stay tuned though, there are 8-minute aviation news recap that are just basically waiting to go out to you, but this takes priority at the moment.
And we'll fly.